So, when it's seen that there is nowhere to go from this, where you are, where you always have been, when it's seen that there never was anyone, it is the lost, seeming lost of everything you thought you knew, you thought was true, you thought was real. It shocks the system, apparently, and no one isn't doing it. It is what's happening, apparently. There's nothing to hold on when these beliefs, stories starts to fall off. Even if there is wanting to hold on, do not let go. This energy of holding on, please. I don't want to die yet. Then this is also what's happening. There is already no one existing who could die. There is already no one having a life. There is no separate identity having past memories. And even if there wasn't, not if, but even if there wasn't anyone at all, never existing separately, there is or can be still grief and feeling of losing control or sadness, feeling lost, feeling alone when seeing through that there have been never anyone separate. So no one had relationships, no one broke up, no one died, no one born. No one ever chose to do anything. No one ever planned anything. Only seemingly. When this is seen true that I didn't exist, I didn't choose, I never did anything right or wrong, then all seeming relationships, connections, attachments, no one having this. But this is not the end. There is no end. There is no beginning. There is no finding out something. There is no arriving somewhere. There is no figuring out something. Figuring out life. It can't be known what this is. No one ever know what this is. It's impossible. The knower is illusion. There is nothing separate. Something, object, subject, subject. No knower. This mystery, life, appearing as life, as this, as war, as death, as hunger, as depression, as illusion, as separateness, and apparently. So, how to put it to the words? Seemingly, you died, but no one, of course, died. Because you can't die. You didn't born. But body is conditioned in certain way, in 8 billion different ways. It's living thing, surviving, eating, sleeping, healing, recovering, running, fighting, speaking, and no one's doing it. No one controlling these emotions, feelings, conditions, and usually when there is no sense of I anymore, this illusion have collapsed, then lots of stuck energy in a story can be released. No one's controlling, seemingly holding on, suppressing, not allowing, and no one's doing this either. It's just what happens. So no one isn't rejecting or allowing or surrendering. And when these strong emotions, feelings without filter are released, there are no stories. Why this happened? Why that happened? Why it is this way? It should be different. Just simply this. However body reacts is what's happening. Naturally, no one's doing it. There are no wrong way to act, right way to act, kind way to react. Only seemingly. And nothing wrong with anything. And I'm not talking about someone using this message to get away from something he did for intention, something bad, and saying, I didn't do it, like applying non-duality. I'm not talking about this. And what I was just shared, what I was just talked about, this applied non-duality. It's not wrong also, nothing wrong, even this. even teaching non-duality, although it only maintains the illusion of me, the self, the doer, the seeker. But this is also not wrong. No one's doing it. It's also full and complete already. I guess it's just a matter of time in this dream when it's realized by no one that there is no separate entity, haven't never been. But coming back to this grief and loss, I did today first Zoom meeting very spontaneously, and there was shared this grief and loss. It was very fresh and raw. There was real tears, real pain, real sadness, real grief, so to speak. Because it can feel also like losing my mind in this dream life senses. When there is no one who is relating to life. When all the self knew, believed is falling away. It is like losing identity, the part of who I am, the part of who I thought I am. I'm smiling, apparently. I can't stop laughing, smiling, talking about this. You know, even the grief and sad stories, I also cry and so on. It's just emotion, and but why I'm laughing or smiling is it is just so perfect that it is so beautiful and raw, and especially when someone is expressing this really openly, because there isn't anything to lose anymore. It feels like I'm done, and this is saying it's all done already. It's all done, and it's all said, so to speak. And although here is lately this kind of energy that no need to add anything, no need to speak anything, let the silence speak, and yet still some meetings or videos or posts happens. Really, no one's doing this. And yeah, here is still the memory of losing all I knew, and it was hell. Like fucking crazy time, really. Nothing to hold on. It's just sink into the sand or endlessly deep. You don't know. You're like waiting to stop this, whatever this falling away process is seemingly. And at the same time, knowing that there is no end. But still, waiting happens. No one isn't waiting, but waiting happens when it stops, when it's over. It is exhausting. There are last attempts to hold on to this dream, to this illusion, to maintain this illusion of continuity. and no one's doing it. And it's just perfectly, so perfectly fine, so perfectly okay. That I totally hear you. But, but, nothing stays. This knowing seemingly helps when it's tough, difficult times. That nothing isn't forever, and it will pass, like everything. And there is no guarantee that whatever is going better or worse in the story. But when there is no one, then there is no better or worse. It's just this. It can be fucking good, it can be fucking bad, but for no one. And this is the freedom, the absence of me, the liberation that doesn't happen with anyone. This is already liberation. There is no time, nowhere to go, no steps, no teachings, only in a dream. And that's perfect. As I said, no one's doing it, no one's choosing to seek 10 years, 50 years. No one isn't choosing to stop seeking or to start seeking. It's unconditional love arising as the seeking energy. And that's a story. I don't know that. So there is no suggestions to anyone, although there are apparently so many different appearances and so different ways, seemingly, how this um, death of illusion happens or it doesn't. The me wants answers, the me wants knowings, but there aren't any. And these wants and questions are fading by itself. And there are, and not because of answers, because there aren't any. They seem to continue these questions until there is the seeking energy exhausting itself. And again, I don't know that. It seems like that. But good news is that this is already it, the freedom. It's always this unchangeable, unknowable, indescribable